Hi everybody, I'm your host, Regine.
Shut up!
Hi, I'm your host, Bijou, and welcome to today's episode of the Azuricast.
I'm your host, Thundawave.
And I'm your host, Vayatir.
What?
And our guests today are an impolite towel.
Regine, that doesn't make any sense, even if you've said it for the 5th time. So, you know...
Well, you just butt in the beginning.
Introduce yourself, fucker.
Wait, me?
Yes,
Yes, you.
Say your name.
Oh,
Say
wait,
your
okay,
name,
wait.
mister.
Hold up. Okay, my name is Darlin Yang. Nice to meet you.
also known as Spotlight. And yeah,
Oh, shoot, right.
we
Forgot
also
about
have a piece of dust here.
Hello, everyone.
that.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Let's
Hi,
not
Mark.
go down. Let's not do new references.
Hi,
Okay,
Mark.
we've been there, done that.
Goodness.
What a start.
A little bit of a mess, but we got there.
Yeah,
At
we're
least
here.
we got there. That's the best. That's the good thing.
I blame Jarlin personally.
It probably is my fault, yeah.
Well, yeah, you kind of been like,
I don't think there's actually
I'm
debate
the
on that.
host. And then I'm like, why? I need to speak. Please let me speak.
Yeah.
I forgot the
How rude.
order that it was done in. So,
Anyway, so our first question of the day is Pokemon related as always. So Pokemon
Lovely.
Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee have been announced. So
Yay.
which one will you get and why? And if you aren't planning on buying the games, why not?
Okay, I'm going first because I'm so excited for these games. They look so cute, and I know that like all of you are gonna crap on them, and I'm just gonna start positive by saying I can't wait. These games are so fun. I'm getting Eevee so I can rep my clan, and it's gonna be great. And I can't wait. Gonna ride on my shoulder.
All right.
I'm not actually getting them, so you guys
Hey,
might
what
as well
did I
go
say?
first.
What did I say?
No, I'm not. It's not like I'm not getting it because I think it looks bad or whatever. It's just on the Switch, and
But Switch is the best part. Switch is a great console.
No, yeah, but I don't have one. So
Get one.
Hey, I'm getting
You know.
a Switch for this.
yeah, unless I'm getting like maybe I'll get a Switch when I go to college, but doubt it. It looks fun, looks great, looks cute, but yeah, I mean that's just my predicament. If I could get one, I don't know. Color yellow is always pretty nice, but
Yeah.
I'm probably in the minority here, so might as well.
Well, I'm Team Pikachu as well, because Pikachu was my childhood favorite Pokemon.
Oh, isn't that so cute?
That is adorable.
It's adorable.
Stop!
cute little- Yellow mouth.
Yeah, because, like, when my brother had, like, this poster of the original 150 Pokemon, I always just liked Pikachu.
Wait a minute.
What?
Nothing. No. Go on.
Alright, but yeah, that explains my reasoning. Otherwise, it would have been a really tough decision.
Anyone else?
I'm not getting the games, even though I have a Switch, and that's because I think the gameplay is overly simplistic. I didn't play Pokemon Go, so I have no nostalgia for the game.
I'm not getting the game either. I just don't. One, I don't have a Switch, and I'm not really interested in buying a Switch right now until maybe Generation 8, if I'm still interested by then. And two, I just don't. The commercial and everything doesn't get me hyped.
Not a
It doesn't
fan.
look that fun to me. It looks
Aw.
way too child handholdy. I don't like it. So it's like the first Pokemon game in a very long time that after sitting and watching through like this stuff, I'm like, cool. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? But that's all right.
I'm this many years old, and I want my handheld.
It was such a cute trailer. And honestly, like, I'll end up getting a Switch either way because I'll have to get it for Gen 8, so...
I'll get a Switch like next year, maybe if I want one, so, but not right now.
If the new
I have a
Smash comes
Switch, I
out,
just don't... Well, yeah, it's coming out this year.
yeah, and it's like vastly different from like the old one, then I
It
might.
isn't.
Yeah, I know, that's what everyone's saying. Smash 4.5. But if it is, I'm just saying, right? Then I think it'd be cool. But other than that,
And also to
Anyways.
add on top of it, bouncing off what Mark says, I'm not a huge fan of Go, so yeah.
Oh my gosh, Go just became so boring after a while.
The first couple of weeks when we were playing, it was so hype. Let me tell you.
Yeah, because everyone was on it, and then everyone realized
Yeah.
that it was just the same thing over and over again.
I mean, also the servers never actually worked. I don't know if you guys remember that at all. It was
I
just
do.
like,
Yeah, that's
our
what turned me
server-
away from Go.
yeah, our server is actually run through a potato, so like we can support at most 3 people on it, and we're like, great, lovely. Can I play the game? And they're like, no.
Well,
So, yeah, that was kind of my experience with that, but
Sounds great. Never watched Plays. Doesn't work on my phone.
Mhm.
You need a new phone.
Probably, yeah.
You can't
but,
even
not a big
open
rush.
Snapchat.
I mean, it calls and texts. I don't know what else you need from it, really.
that actually leads into the next question, doesn't it?
Yes, sort
Yes.
of. So, in light of the like system being enabled on the forums recently, to what extent should people care about social media? When do its positives outweigh its negatives and vice versa? And as a result of your views, how active are you on it?
I've got quite an opinion on this, but I want to hear what everyone else has to say first, yeah?
does Azurilland count as social media?
No.
No.
I'm thinking like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
I'm not into social media. I think, like, it's hard to explain my views. I don't know. I mean, like, I think Facebook is like it's like a cesspool of crap. And, it's full of top 10 reasons why Hermione Granger was Jewish. And it's like, I mean, cool. I don't want this in my life, And I like never use social media. I mean, I use like Tumblr, if you can count that, which I don't really.
It does.
Because to me, social media is like, I got a glass of milk and I threw up XD, and so I'm not into that. So I don't use it.
Mhm. I mean, for me, I guess if you would have asked me, like, probably like 3-4 years ago, high school, I was addicted to social media. Nowadays, like, as time went on, it's just like, well, I'll just scroll, being like, okay, cool, reading people's Facebook statuses and liking things. I haven't had much desire to really do much myself, except like on an occasion where I'm like, oh, I feel like sharing this picture. Oh, I should probably update my profile picture. I haven't done it in a while, and all that. And the main ones I do use is Facebook and Instagram. And Instagram is only because from like way since I've gotten that thing like forever ago, I just mainly use it as a place for profile pictures for my other accounts, which is why I look so vain in that thing, because it's like,
Oh yeah, your Instagram's just like all selfies, and I'm just like,
it's
"Aw."
my selfie pool thing that I wish it didn't make me required to just show all of them, because I just really want them for profile pictures for other things. That's the whole purpose of that Instagram.
You could like
But
archive your entire
Yeah.
Instagram.
Wait, couldn't you just take like a photo and just?
yeah,
So
but I
it'd be
want to
better.
use the filters and all of that stuff.
But like you could like post it and then take it down.
Yeah. Which shows how Instagram savvy I am. I mean, like, sometimes, like, once every, like, several months, I'm like, I actually do have a proper Instagram post, but, yeah, just social media is nowhere near as important to me as it was, like, back in, like, high school and, like, my freshman, sophomore year of college, so.
Yeah, so meanwhile for me, I probably use social media the most out of all of you guys, and it's mainly out of necessity, because in college, they always have these groups and like messenger chats and all that. for all of my clubs.
Huh.
And then Instagram's just something I started that I don't really put too much time into, but like, if I have a nice photo, I'll share it. And that's probably why half of my Instagram is dance.
I just use Instagram to post art.
Oh yeah, and I use Instagram for the Azurilland account.
Which you should all follow.
Yes.
I do.
What about
Mark?
you, Mark?
I don't like social media very much. Not because I don't use it, I do use it. I use Twitter and Facebook. But I think that social media fosters a very toxic atmosphere, especially now that it's become sort of mostly mainstream.
That's true.
Particularly around political issues and very sort of charged issues, you see these very toxic comments going around. Mostly because social media gives more direct access to other people who may not know, and celebrity figures and things such as that. But it also gives a platform for negative voices to be heard. And you can just really see this in terms of, and it sort of promotes groupthink in a way.
Yeah.
Like an echo chamber of such, where the feelings that get the most likes or the most retweets or whatever are generally become the dominant groupthink, and and it sort of stifles opposing debate. So I don't like that. And that's part of the reason I don't really like systems in general, because they tend to promote one opinion above others.
Oh, you're a mod on Reddit.
Yes, I know. There's some very, but I have issues with Reddit too, so...
Goodness, man.
Mark,
Yeah,
you just
that's-
broke Jolin.
No, it's just funny the way you say that. I mean, I agree, and then you mod the League subreddit, and we all know how well that goes. But yeah, this is something I have quite an opinion on, and yeah, I think you can tell I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Well, to put it this way, the advancement of technology is like it's really stupid to deny that that it has benefits, because it does. And being closer connected with people gives a lot of opportunities, right? Like, oh, don't know how to do this math problem? I'll just ask this Cambridge professor, stuff like that. But the issue comes for me, and as I've observed in two primary forms: the adoption of a persona, as well as the dampening of the dopaminergic reward system. And so that's two major issues. I think the first one is something. Well, I mean, they're both quite an issue with me. But a lot of us tend to focus on a persona when we go on things like Instagram and Facebook, right? Like Reddit, not as much, if you count that as social media, which I think it does, because you share information with other people, but that's not the point. If aliens were to look in on Facebook, they would think that the people on Earth are the happiest, right, most alive things ever.
Yeah,
But that's just simply not true. Yeah. Now, that's true. Some people do kind of, and that's a whole nother issue. But we do try to adopt a persona, right? Which, we do in day-to-day life. It's just much easier to do on social media, because you can actively filter what you put on it. And, that is...
But that seems in general, is it not? It's not a social media exclusive problem.
Yeah, but
it's what YouTube, that's doing it for way longer than social media existed for.
What is... I mean, you can argue that YouTube is a form of social media.
I wouldn't say it is.
But I mean, while you're sharing stuff, you're communicating with people. It's social and it's media.
Maybe the
Right?
content
Break it down.
There has to be a point where it stops being considered social media.
That's right. I mean, the
The
internet
purpose
is
of social media is networking. YouTube isn't used to network. It's used to produce content.
right. Well, that's another issue, isn't it? The constant stimulus. It's like they ran this experiment on monkeys, right, or chimps or whatever, and they have them pull a lever, right, to get some food.
Oh, I know this one.
Right. But what they find is that when the monkeys pull the lever and there's actually a chance of getting food, as in like gambling, right, their dopamine levels actually go higher, right, and that makes sense, because dopamine is a motivational chemical. It's not like it's not a satisfaction reward. So to say, when we browse social media and we intake stimulus, right, a lot of the times we're not really we're just mindlessly browsing away. And the way that our brain chemistry is wired encourages that. Because it says, well, this might not be interesting, but the next thing might be interesting. And then you click on the next thing, and it's not interesting at all. And then you click on the next thing after that, and it's not interesting at all. And then you look at the clock and 2 hours have passed and you've done nothing.
Yep.
Right? And that's quite an issue. I think social media is really quite helpful in moderation, right? Mm-hmm. As Regine said. You go to clubs, right?
Yeah.
I'm not in college right now. Like, my school has, like, a grade size of, like, 100.
Yeah,
right?
like, if you want to, like, fill up your resume with stuff and be in, like, leadership positions and all, then, yeah, you're probably going to have to use Facebook more when you're in college.
Yeah. Right. For now, though, it's something that I think is good to really moderate because moderating stimulus is a good idea, but that's just...
Well, the positive social media, though, this has been a very negative conversation. I mean, social media is used for a good reason, right? It's
that's
used
the point.
Well, for
news.
example, I use it for communication.
Right.
And,
networking,
like,
as you said.
It helps you get certain, like, exposure in certain things. Like, a bunch of my clubs have their own Facebook pages where they post a bunch of pictures or they announce, like, when a show is.
But like, that's Facebook, yeah. I really see quite little value in Instagram. Which, that sounds pretty negative. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's just, you intake stimulus. It's like, oh, who cares about that person that you met 2 years ago that you, like, don't know? I think it's much more important to just be close to the people that you're close to.
I've cleared out some some people I've been following and don't really care about anymore.
Anyways. Yeah. Well.
So, yeah.
I think it's important to, go out for a walk as opposed to look at a picture of, basically.
Scroll your life away.
Like if you agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Give us many thanks on Azurilland.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Isn't this supposed to relate to what we feel about the likes and dislikes, or not dislikes, sorry, it's Azurilland. Likes on Azurilland?
Not necessarily. Like, I only thought of this because it's just like, oh yeah, we just enabled likes. Yeah, how much do you guys care about social media?
Someone just died in the background, if you heard that, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, moving on to much more exciting and fun topics for all of you guys. Smash Camp is coming up! July 9th through 13th. Pre-camp is the 7th and 8th. And basically, you'll have a bunch of different events, such as flash games, scavenger hunts, where you can witness Mark trespassing for a windmill picture, art writing competitions, and a few other things in store that are secret plans, TM.
Oh boy.
So, yeah. Oh yeah, Molly's a cabin leader.
Yep.
So if you're in cabin 3, the pink cabin, you shall have her.
We're gonna have fun.
She will come after you with her knife to make sure that you participate every day.
I will. But I will with love.
And speaking of knife...
Oh, speaking of knife.
Speaking of knife?
Speaking of knife.
If you've been living under a rock or you're Mark and you don't care, the Azurilland Theatrical Company is going to be performing a play version of Pokemon Black and White. Woo!
Woo!
Yes, pretty good, actually.
And because she's here, I guess I could just say that our female lead, if you didn't know, is going to be Hilda. It's going to be Bijou. Woo!
Yay! I'm the leading lady. I'm so excited about that. I really am. I remember when you announced it, and I basically was crying.
That's adorable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hilbert and Hilda. Worst protagonist names.
They've kind
Hilbert's
of
not
grown on me.
terrible. Hilbert is awful.
They're both
They-
old people names.
Hilbert's a fine name. I think Hilbert's a stupid name, though. I don't think it's a real name.
Hilbert is like, you can name a frog after that. Hell
Yeah, it's like we call it frog. Yeah, good one.
Mm-hmm.
There's like something about like this, like, the way you have to use your mouth to pronounce that name just makes you inherently angry, you know? Hilbert. Keith. You know? Mark. You know, stuff like that, but anyways.
I find it interesting how Molly worked in the personalities, because I saw the script since I'm still in that server.
Oh, spoilers?
Yeah. Well, basically, you've made it so that they're not just silent protagonists anymore.
Yeah, all of Hilbert and Hilda's lines are original dialogue written by me because I had no other choice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a lot of fun.
It will be. Congrats on Katie being a lead, and everyone else in the cast. Love you. See you guys whenever it comes out. Lol.
Harass the people for their lines.
I shall.
Like all the time, because we have like a super hard deadline this time. Otherwise, we're gonna die or
Yeah.
get recasted.
We got a hard deadline of August 15th. Make it happen, people.
Mm-hmm.
Knife.
All right.
Era.
So now we go up one generation, and Bubba is hosting Azurilland Plays again, and everyone's playing Pokemon X and Y together. Unfortunately, I can't join in on that because I do not have Pokemon Bank to be able to save all my good Pokemon and reset the game. But I hope that everyone who's signed up has a really good time, and it's never too late to join in on the fun later. So, yeah. And lastly, Katie and I are both doing casual playthroughs. I'm doing March of the Lunari, which is sort of like Diana themed, and I always say that like my Pokemon are my minions and whatever. And Katie is doing Oh Darling, Let's Be Adventurers.
Yeah, which is basically just a casual playthrough of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team. I haven't really touched that game in a very, very long time, and I have it on my Wii U as a virtual console, and I'm just trying to find different ways to play video games, like alternative ways, since due to a series of unfortunate events, my DS is resting pepperoni. So, yeah. Which is I can't do the X and Y Azurilland Plays. So, yeah.
Oh, no.
Go fund me to get Katie a new 3DS, please, maybe. I don't know. But yeah.
You need a new 3DS?
Yes. Yeah, my top screen, shattered
Yikes.
from the inside, so I had to get a replacement.
How much do they cost, do you know?
I try to go to different places to see if they could get it fixed. I can't take it to Nintendo because I don't know what happened, but my serial numbers is gone. So basically, what people have told me is my only option is to just get a new system, which I can't really do right now. So yeah. But I am playing Blue Rescue Team on the Wii U, and we'll see how it goes. It's a game I haven't touched in a long time, to the point where I don't really even remember the story, so it's pretty much blind now. So, yeah, I'm going to look forward to see how the story unfolds and all of that stuff, and I hope to stick with trying to update, because I'm very bad about those kinds of things when it comes to life challenges. Yes.
I haven't been updating in the past few days because I've been busy in one way or another, but I should be getting back to the daily grind and playing this while in call with Jay and just commenting about the most random stuff. Like how my Dartrix keeps hogging all the experience. Yeah, it's been fun. So, I guess it is question time now at Towel.
Yes, that's me. Alright, so, I got a question for you. If you had 2 extra hours every day, what would you use?
That's tough.
That's easy. Play more video games. Sleep more. Same as what we do.
See,
More time in the day, more free time.
but the thing,
Ideally, I would like to do more productive things, but
Yeah.
Just don't, we'd all like to do that,
in-
but we're lying to ourselves, Katie, if
Yeah.
you say that.
I know. Let me finish my sentence. Ideally, I want to be more productive, but I know me, and I know the grand majority of people would just be like, yes, 2 more hours of sleep, Netflix, and like anything else that's not productive.
Why don't we make this a more romantic situation, you know? If you were to be able to use those 2 hours productively, what would you...
what?
In a more romantic setting.
Oh, sorry. Idealized romantic?
I think it's because he heard
Romanticist
Netflix and immediately
No, I
thought
didn't.
chill.
I don't mean romantic as in, I mean romantic as in ideal, not, oh my god.
I know, but I just want to make it sound. I just
I
want to make
literally
it sound
use that word
awkward.
for everything, and that's probably like an issue. Like I probably should be using idealized, but you know what I mean. What would you be using them for if you could be using it productively? That's an interesting question, you know?
Okay, so, see, I'd want to use it for video games and sleep, but I know that if I want to get anywhere in life, I need to actually, like, deal with the job search, etc.
Anyone else?
I don't even know what I would do. I feel like I would hope that those 2 hours would be sunny hours because I like it outside. And I always wake up late, so if I could wake up at the same time I usually do and then have 2 extra hours, I'd just be happy for the sun, basically. I don't know. I don't really care what I'd do.
Second.
In an ideal, perfect world, I would use those extra 2 hours of the day to be more productive in my studying for my graduate exams and writing my thesis. So there we go.
Yeah, I would need to, like... Yeah, I need to use that time productively, and unfortunately, yeah, even if there were 2 extra hours each day, I probably would not be able to play video games every day, even if I want to get good at them.
Okay, so if I could use those hours properly, I'd probably do something like language study or just general skill building for myself, but in reality it's going to be sleep.
See, I think but the reason I asked that is because I think most people like function below 10% efficiency. Which is a problem if you think of it as such, which I do. And that we really don't realize like how much time we waste on just a weekly basis, right? You know, you can even forget the weekdays, right? You probably waste a large amount of time on the weekends themselves, at least. Whatever. We can give a number estimates.
I wish that like I've always wished that like if I had a genie or something, I would wish that I wouldn't need the ability to sleep, so I could just like be up constantly, and I feel like I would get so much done.
But what would you do?
I would like because sleeping is so annoying because then you're like, ugh, I have to stop what I'm doing and lay somewhere soft and go unconscious for like 8
Sleeping
hours.
is quite a biological necessity, so I mean we can throw that out of the park. If you're one of the lucky like 1% of the population that has a gene that requires less sleep, then you know they usually belong to like really thin, hyper energetic people. Don't know any. But but like I didn't waste a whole ton of time. Like by the way, personally, I'd either use it to practice an instrument, or to study, or to do whatever. I've been trying to maximize my efficiency to, the degree to which, like, it can be maximized without me completely losing my mind. Right?
Breaks are important.
Right, well,
you need that 5-minute break on the Pomodoro timer.
Oh no, you factor in breaks. You can take a 5-minute break in between a 9-hour work session. That's legal. But that's just factored in. I'm talking about like time literally wasted, as in like, you're on social media or something, and you just you look at the clock. It's 2 p.m. And then you look at the Reddit, and then you look at the clock again. It's 4 p.m. And then you're like, what the heck am I doing? And you're just very, very, very upset, right? I only say what like you would use a daily 2 extra hours for is because we waste at least that much time every single day. And, even if we just take some time and just say, well, right, like I probably waste
as much as we hate to admit, yes, we do waste a lot of time.
Right, and 2 hours is a very lowball estimate. That's just an estimate for how much time I'm wasting, like, during the summer. Right? I mean, like,
so
I can just think about how much better I could get playing, like, the vibraphone.
If you had an extra 2 hours,
yes.
Would you be any more efficient?
Yeah.
Percentage-wise?
Because, personally, I think so. Because I'm using most of my time efficiently, in my opinion, my humble opinion, right? That 2 hours just gives me an extra 2 hours to, like, even if we just say percentage-wise, I'm only operating at about, like, lowball 80% efficiency, right? Then we just take 80% of the 2 hours that I've been given extra, and we invest that into, like, I don't know, piano or something, and all of a sudden, like, it compounds over time, right? Like with one day, it's 2 hours, but within a week, it's 14, and then, like, by 2 weeks, you've already spent an extra, like, day working on a singular task. Right?
Yeah, so...
And you can just think about that.
Anyway...
That's my motivation, too.
I guess...
For you guys to... Or for everyone, I guess, listening.
We are ready for Mark's question.
Okay, so my question is, how did you first get into playing video games? And also mention your great game series. Like, maybe the one that got you into video games in the first place. Let's start with Regine.
I mainly got into video games because my brother was playing them. Like, I always used to watch him play Pokemon or Final Fantasy, which is also, like, a reason why I love those two series in particular very much. I always, like, since I wasn't allowed to play yet, I would always just read the strategy guides pretty much front to back, and I'd tell my brother what to do, and I'd yell at him when like he didn't do what I told him. So yeah.
I loved reading strategy guides when I was a kid. I like looking through them to look at all the pictures, even though I spoil the rest of the game for myself. I'm just like, yeah, I used to just like reading and looking at the pictures and reading what they put, even for bits later in the game.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, Katie.
Alright. Well, I started playing video games at a very, very young age. One of my earliest memories as like a young child would be playing the NES and Super Nintendo with my dad. I would play games such as Super Mario, Donkey Kong Country, Tetris, and all of that stuff. And even though I was absolutely trash at the games because I was like 4, my dad still encouraged me to try playing them and all that. And when I was 5, I got my hands on my first Game Boy. And it was around this time that Red and Blue came out. So I got the first game that I properly owned that I could call my game was Pokemon Blue, which is why I got into Pokemon. So, yeah. Yeah, I've been playing video games since I was like 4, so, yeah.
All right.
Okay. Sola.
I don't know if I would say, because I guess my first kind of game was Pokemon, but I don't think Pokemon really got me into like hashtag video games. I think what really did it was probably Kingdom Hearts, and I got into that because I saw my cousin playing it. Because he was like, "Oh, I know you like Disney, I know you like Ariel. Look, here's Ariel," and I was like, "I need this." So, but then time went on, and I didn't have a PlayStation. And then, funny that Virginia mentioned strategy guide, because I got the strategy guide for Kingdom Hearts before I even owned the PS2, and I just read that thing. And then when I finally got it, it was like so special, and I knew what I was doing because I had read that whole strategy guide.
Yes.
That and I guess just kind of jamming around. One of my best childhood memories. This is really obscure, but it's like following my mom around a J.C. Penney playing Ruby.
Oh my
with my
gosh.
head, and like I like didn't even care what was happening. I was just grinding against Gabby and Ty, like leveling up, and it was I don't know. I thought that's a nice memory. But Kingdom Hearts probably sealed the deal.
All right. What about
Jarlin.
Let's see. So, when I first came to America, I couldn't really speak that much English, and went on this camping trip, right? And these kids were like, they were holding these like little devices, and there were these guys running around, and this is so cool, and I was like, wow, that's really nice. So we were at like Costco or something. I was like, wow, look, it's like this Pokemon game, like, and I got that. That's basically how I got started, or how I got into it right now. That's my favorite video game series. Smash. It's the ultimate party game, right? That's it's probably pretty simple. That's it.
That's true. It never stops being entertaining when you pull that out. So.
Okay, I guess it leaves me. So I first got into video games when I was about 4 years old. This is when the Pokemon craze really hit. At school, you would see people like Charles sort of all these weird little sort of rectangle devices, Game Boy Colors, of course. And I was like, what is that? And it was just fascinating that you could sort of play these virtual games. Because until that point, games to me were just board games, like things you physically moved around. But this was like a whole world trapped inside this little cartridge thing. It blew my mind completely. It's something that could actually exist. So my first game was Pokemon Blue and Pokemon Yellow. But I didn't really get into video games entirely until I'd say Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages. And that is probably my number one Zelda game just that reason alone. Because it was, well, one was more colourful than the original two Pokemon games. But also it was more the story. The story catch me in that game. And just I got more of a feeling of exploration and adventure. And yeah, and since then I've just really loved the Legend of Zelda franchise and Nintendo in general, and then moved on to other video games, particularly JRPGs and strategy games.
All right. So, is it our favorite time now?
Yes, now it's time for the Weird Quizception quiz time, because I get to quiz Mark now. You guys have 1 minute to answer.
Oh boy, this role reversal.
Yes, it's role reversal now.
Yes.
All right, you guys have 1 minute to answer my questions. If you don't know the answer, you say pass. And if the time runs out while I'm reading a question, you could still answer the question. So, yeah, any questions about my questions?
It's going to look so badly if I can't answer a lot of questions. So I always blame people for not being able to answer questions. So now, if I can't do the same, I'm going to get it's terrible.
Yeah, and we have
you
some
do that?
all-new questions for you as well.
Oh, of course you do. We can't be the ones we know the answers to. That would be too easy.
Who would like to go first?
Not me.
I'll go.
Alrighty. Are you ready, Jolin?
I am.
Are you ready, Regine?
Yes.
Alrighty. Mark, you
Yeah.
cannot answer any of these questions because they're not special questions. Alrighty. Where do you get the
Pass.
matchup? Marie, where do you get the matchup checker app for the Poke Edge and Pokemon Party?
Pass. Wait, I actually know. I think I actually know that one. Fuck.
Okay, say it.
What?
Say your
Is this
answer.
this is the matchup checker, right? Is this the one in shit, I forgot what it's called.
This is a
Just
mess.
describe it.
Buildings. Pass.
Alrighty.
Christ.
Where can you capture Moltres in Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green?
The fire house.
Firehouse. Not the answer I'm looking for.
Really? I'm pretty surprised, but whatever. Go on.
Alright. Which route can you find Dawnstone?
Sorry, you just died for me. Can you repeat that question?
Alrighty. Which route can you find a Dawnstone in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl?
Mount Cornet.
And that's
That's
all.
a route.
No.
What? That's a route.
No.
Well,
That's a route.
rip Jolin.
That was the
Rip.
best. I'm sorry.
You didn't even try.
I didn't. Can I get another guess at the route?
No.
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 No. Okay. I was just gonna make a joke, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Alrighty. Now it's time for Mark's special questions. Are you
Oh,
ready, Mark?
No, I'm not ready.
I prepared them all to be evil.
Okay, well, there's going to be 0 answers correct, so just so you know.
Well, we'll see.
Okay,
We'll see.
let's go then.
Alright, Regina, are you ready?
Yep.
Alright. In Generation 5, what Pokemon could not be traded without a nickname?
Pass.
Alrighty. In Generation 7, what fully evolved Pokemon could be obtained via SOS on Route 3?
Pass.
What the hell?
What color is Shiny Kecleon?
Oh, it's purple pink sort of colour.
Unfortunately, that's the Mystery Dungeon one. Rip. So no. Alrighty, what is Arceus's base stat total?
Oh,
Hey.
700?
You can do the math. No.
700? I don't know. I don't know what his base is.
720. It's 720. I know this one.
This is my quiz. Shut up, Jarlin.
John,
Now
you be
we
quiet.
can't reuse it. Okay, next.
Alright, which Generation 2 Pokemon has an additional Pokemon in its official sprite and artwork?
Additional Oh. Crap.
Oh, I know this one.
I hate these. This is what generations don't know. Give me generations actually pass again.
And that's
Alright,
all.
No, Jarlin's
Dear-
taking up my time. I want one more question.
Huh.
Give one more.
Fine, one more.
Alrighty, name one Pokemon that has a base stat total of 420. Blaze it.
Fucking, I don't know. These questions are awful.
But the Quizmaster gets a 0.
Well, you gave me like the most evil questions ever. Like, I don't think anyone can answer those apart from one that Jarlin got. Because I could answer his questions, I couldn't answer mine.
Yeah, because you made those questions.
Well, duh.
So, yeah.
Cast form. There we go. There's one.
Woo!
Woo, whatever.
What?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
a 420 Pokemon.
You're not getting a free theme from me. Get in line.
Well, I'll take my 1 point. Thank you.
Thank you guys both for attending the final episode of this season of the Azuricast.
Thank you for hosting it, Regine.
Thank you very much for having
And
us.
Molly and Katie.
Yeah.
Wow. I see how it is.
So who won this season's quiz?
I think it's Jasper
Yeah,
again.
Jasper.
Again?
Except he hasn't picked up his first theme, so
I
Okay, so give us
it
one
might
else.
get passed on to
Scott,
Yeah.
I think. Scott's
So,
second place.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I shall see you again probably sometime in September. So,
Okay.
bye.
Goodbye.
Alright, bye.
Hi
See ya.
guys.